So welcome, I am Dave Murphy, this is Wendy Van Gilst, and today we're going to discuss, having had a small hiccup already, about live video for business. So essentially two things have come up that are really pertinent points. One is making sure your connection is available, which is really important. Do make sure
strong enough.
that you have a good, strong either 3G or 4G connection, because we did start this video literally 5 minutes ago and then the connection died on Facebook Live. We are recording Facebook Live, Periscope and Instagram Live, as well as an audio recording of this, so that kind of demonstrates Facebook Live in general for businesses, not just Facebook. It is different areas. So I suppose that's the one key kind of takeaway we've learned from today is make sure you have a good 4G connection, make sure you're connected.
And then that you test before you go live.
Yeah, test before you go live, go to the location and test. And that's actually a really good point, I think, to start on. I didn't really understand this, but actually you can test yourself as only me. So if you go into Facebook, for example, you can select only me and you can do a dry run of what you're going to do on the day for Facebook Live. So that's a great takeaway. That's number one. Number two tip. Number one tip is make sure you have a connection. Number two tip, before we kind of get into anything else, is do a dry run yourself. Prepare your questions. Then what happens is, for the third thing is, what happens when your guest doesn't arrive? What do you do? So Wendy, what do you do in this situation? We had somebody else, a business expert from Sage, supposed to arrive today.
Yeah, he couldn't make it.
Couldn't make it. Yeah.
So what do? You promote your Facebook Live session, so people expect you to be live at a certain time. So because it is live, so you can basically be very honest with your audience, like we're doing right now, and just explain, listen, I know guys, you were expecting somebody else, but we thought in a way of, let's just go live and just talk about the topic and share our opinions, and we love to do the session again with our business experts when he can make it. But still go live and make the best out of the opportunity, because just show that something didn't go the way you expected to go. So you show your human side, which is always the most important part of social media. Just show your human, and those things can happen.
That's it, exactly. Life happens. And live video or whatever is just an extension of what's happening in life. So if your guest doesn't turn up, just go with it. And that's, I think, the great thing that hasn't been said just yet is live is very raw. So people connect with that, and I think that's a real good kind of takeaway, is you're showing your human side of your business when you show how raw it is as well. We're not saying don't prepare, don't promote, don't do anything with it. We are actually going to go run through some of the best ways to get the best out of live video, be that Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, or whatever you want to do with live video. But it is, I think it's a really important factor, is you're showing a different side to yourself, a more open and honest side to yourself when you do raw, rather than a polished video with all models and the guy with the afro hair and the nice looking lady and all of this kind of stuff. So you're actually inviting people into your personality. Yeah,
and I think the fact that something goes wrong, even if you make a mistake during the video, is completely fine with live video. It's live. It's like people are, normally they would be in the room, but now they're watching you, so it's as pure as it can get. And I think that's the power of live video.
Also, another thing that's just after popping up on the screen that's kind of reminded me as well, please, if you're doing live as well, contact your stakeholders or whoever you do business with on a regular basis and ask them not to contact you by email or by text or by phone in particular. We've had a recent Facebook Live where we had a call in the middle of it. We had to stop the call and continue the video and stuff like that. But that's all part of it. But I suppose back to the topic of today, Wendy, it's about live video for businesses. So the big question for me is why? Why should businesses do live videos?
Well, I think we touched on it a bit already, but for me, one of the key reasons to do live video is because it's so easy to do. When you think back maybe a year or two ago, it was always like this big project when you did a video for your business. So you needed an agency or somebody who's extremely creative. You needed a lot of knowledge, and it was a lot of work to then finalize the video and share it with your network. Live video is something that we all have access to on our phones. What I like about it is that it's not only easy to use, you also reach your followers straight away.
Yes.
So instead of creating posts and everything, live video is there for your followers. They get notified, and I think that's for me one of the big benefits.
Yeah, I think live is a super benefit, because if you think about, say, like you say, 2 or 3 years ago, webinars for businesses, a lot of the idea of businesses for video was, let's do a webinar, and when we do a webinar, then we're capturing email leads and stuff like that. Whereas I think this live video is a nice in between place, where you can share knowledge with your customer base, potential customers, or your followers from a business perspective, and you can connect with them and show a bit more about yourself and about who you are and what your business is really about. And your business, say, for us in our example here in Sage, our business is to make the business builders and the humans of business, the people who are making business out there all throughout the world, to make their lives easier. So if we can do that, that's why we're doing this session in the first place, is to make their lives easier. They can learn from this and apply the same ideas and the same principles to their business.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what is good to mention as well is, as you said, we are live now across 3 different channels.
Yes, excellent segue into the platforms.
Yeah. So my main question would be, because yes, we're using 3 different channels now, but would you say that you should always use all your channels, or would you say just focus on one channel, and which channel is then the best one for businesses?
That's a question I think for businesses to answer themselves. Really, is what channel works. That's what I suppose, as people are looking at this now, and we'll look at it when we repackage it and send it back out again. That's a great factor of it live, is you can repackage and send it out again. Is ask yourself that question: which platform works best for you? So currently, LinkedIn is probably the only major platform that doesn't have a live facility. That said, you can do it on Facebook Live and repackage it and put it onto LinkedIn and share it after the event. So ask yourself that question: which one has the best engagement rates? Best followers? Which one suits your audience? Where's most of your audience? Are they on Instagram? Are they on Twitter through Periscope? Or are they on Facebook? Make that decision, and I think that really answers which platforms do you go on. So for in this example, Wendy has Periscope and Instagram, because that's the main areas your followers are on, which is the way to go. So for Sage, the main area for followers is Facebook Live for us. But we'll repackage this, and we'll reposition it on LinkedIn, we'll reposition it and repackage it with titles and credits and stuff like that, and put it on YouTube as well. So there's other channels. Obviously the other channel that we're missing now as well is YouTube Live. So YouTube is like the home of video essentially on the internet. So that's the questions you have to ask yourself as well. So which platform do you do? What's the difference in the platforms? What is the difference?
I think that's a really interesting question, because from my perspective, every channel is different. So Facebook is different from Instagram. Very often people expect different types of content across the different channels. So that comes back to what is your message business-wise, and who are the people you want to reach, and what are they expecting on those platforms. The technical part of the live videos is, for example, for Instagram, it doesn't stick on your profile. So we're live now on Instagram, but the moment we close down Instagram Live, it's gone. You can save it on your phone, which is a setting that you need to set before you go live if you want to save the video. When you use Facebook Live, for me that's the most advanced one when it comes to reusing your content. It's really easy to download your video, and then, as you said, reuse it for other channels like YouTube, audio. And Periscope, I think, sits in between. It's quite good because you can save everything and you can reshare it. But if you really want to reuse your content, I think Facebook Live is the most advanced one. For me.
And how would you propose using Instagram content? Is there any particular ways you could reuse the platform that is Instagram for live? Apart from downloading it and saving it, could you repackage it and put it on YouTube, or could you possibly cut it up and then repost it onto Instagram into small segments?
I think that's one of the best things you can do with Instagram. For me, Instagram is a very specific audience. It's different from all the other channels in a way that people expect something else on Instagram. It's much more visual. It's much more about the images and the way that you brand yourself. And that's definitely something you can do. You can cut it up into smaller pieces and then
kind of
share
like 30-second videos to repost, just in case your followers weren't on for the live, because Instagram is really strictly live when you say that. So that's cool. Because I know Facebook recommends about 10 minutes is the minimum for a live video.
And that makes sense in a way that it is important for people to know that you're live.
Yes.
If you only go live for 5 minutes, there's a good chance that people missed it.
Yeah.
And a side note on that, why is live video so interesting for business now is because all those channels love live video.
Yes.
So they are promoting it on their platforms, which means that they're notifying your network. And that means that if you stay live longer than 5 minutes, they basically have time to notify more people in your network, which means that more people will then tune in and watch what you're doing.
That's great. So would you recommend, say, in a situation like this where you have a one-to-one conversation, do you think that works best, or do you think it's best that if it's just one person talking to the screen? From what you've seen out there in your great experience in social media, what do you think works best?
I don't think there's a wrong or right.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily asking is there a wrong or right, but from a business perspective, what works? Because you'll see, like say for example, the Happy Pair in Ireland are huge on social media. The guys are all over social media. They got beta testing for Instagram Live, and they're all over Facebook Live. But it's never just Stephen or Dave from the Happy Pair. It's them plus loads of other people, or they're doing something like with 3 or 4 other people. Where in a business situation, I think, when you think back to webinars 2 or 3 years ago, and a lot of webinars now as well, there's an expert and then the interviewer from the company.
Yeah.
So would you continue that kind of thread for a business, or would you kind of go with the less formal, kind of more raw stuff that you see the guys from the Happy Pair doing, or is there an in-between balance, or would you test things maybe as well?
Absolutely, I think it's worth testing both. What we've seen ourselves is during events we get really good engagement around just being live at the event and just show people who are at home what's going on at the event, like speakers, but also what's going on the booth, or if you have a particular area. It's just to give people a bit of a view behind your business.
It's like a live report nearly.
So that works really well. I also believe that it's good to do sessions like we do, maybe more consistent, so people expect something is coming.
Like kind of once a week, so X business is going to go live every Thursday, 11 o'clock. This is the live moment. So people register, and if they might have missed the 5 minutes the previous week, they know the following week to be there on time to catch the full show. That's great. Have a regular, consistent live and adapt that to your social media strategy. Basically.
But what would you say are the best topics? So let's say I have my own business and I want to go live, but I don't have a clue what I should be talking about.
You don't have a clue about what you should be talking about. I suppose, what do your customers ask in questions? What do you see coming back from your customers and from your space, your industry? I think that's really important. So say today in the UK it's budget day. So if you're a software company like Sage and you're involved in accounting and business software, this is a big day to talk about it. There's other trends out there. Another day that's happening today is International Women's Day. Jump on that hashtag, say business and business, or female boss is the hashtag maybe for today, I don't know. But jump on topical issues that affect the world around your business, your industry, and then specific to your customers as well. So you have three big circles of content to draw from and talk about. And stuff that you're comfortable talking about as well. That you have, if you have experts in your business, pull these guys out, give them the confidence, give them the tools to be enabled to talk to an audience, whether that's on Facebook Live, on Periscope, or on Instagram Live, or YouTube Live, that they feel empowered to do it, and they're building their own personal brand, which is something we talked about on the video 2 weeks ago. And then that enables them to feel comfortable. It brings them in, and you're sharing that knowledge that's in your company. That's not just one person, but it's multiple people within that organisation. So I think that's probably the way to go. Look at the greater world, look at the industry, look at what your customers are asking, and then look at who's inside your organisation that can maybe make this happen for you. I think that's probably the way to go. Good questions. I'm supposed to be asking most of the questions here. Hold on a second.
And then maybe it's interesting as well to add that you really don't need much more than a phone.
That's exactly it. A well-charged phone. Clean the screen. Get yourself a cleaning cloth. Clean the screens. Make sure they're good. Get to a place where there's not too much noise. You've a good connection. Tell your wife, your friend, boyfriend, whoever's going to ring you at that time that you're not available for those 30 minutes or 40 minutes in advance, and prepare, basically.
And is 30 minutes the way to go? Is that, you think, the right length?
I think as long as the video goes, as natural as the conversation is, once it becomes forced, I think you're in a different space altogether. I think that's the time to get the clapperboard and cut the video at that stage. So once the conversation kind of dies out and you're looking or scrambling for ideas or topics to talk about, then it's gone. Have a list. Do prepare lists. So do have a list of questions or topics to cover that you want to go through during the day. And on that segue, back to the list. So how do you prepare? I think we talked about it earlier. So there's some, like, you would obviously notify people on that particular network. Do you go outside of that network to prepare people as well? So say we're on Facebook Live. Do you tell people on Instagram that you're going to go live on Facebook? Do you tell people on your Twitter you're going to go live? Do you tell people on LinkedIn? How do you build up, and how long for in the pre-event promotion would you run?
Definitely go across channels. I think nowadays that people don't see a channel on itself. It's social media.
Yes.
And we don't really think this is Facebook, this is LinkedIn, and they're all separate. No, it's just one online presence. It's your online personal brand. When should you start preparing? I would go for a week max, because so it's live video. So it's
why a week max though? You seen some pain there when you said that. So why a week max?
I think if you start to plan it even further, if you would say you would start 2 weeks in advance.
The promotion side,
Yeah, but you don't really know what the setting will be.
Yes.
Things can change.
Yes, the environment can change. It's out of control.
And we saw it happening ourselves. I mean, we got noticed only an hour before the live video.
Yes, exactly.
And that's of course not always going to happen. Most of the times it will go the way you planned.
Exactly.
But I wouldn't go any further than 1 week.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessary to do that. People get notified when you're live. There's not really an invite that they will save in their calendar. So if they see it 2 weeks in advance, maybe they will think about it, but there's a big chance they will forget about it.
Yes,
Where it's a week in advance, especially a couple of days before, and then the day itself. So if you go live at 11, you can promote it at 9 and again at 10. Just to say, hey people, don't forget, we will be live in an hour. But that's what I would do. I don't know if you have a different opinion on that.
No, I think a week is plenty of time, considering the amount of noise that's out there on social platforms, and making sure that your audience sees it enough times. So 7 days is plenty. It's one post per platform per day. That's the way I would see it. Obviously strategically place at the time where you know your audience is going to be looking as well. And then in the hour beforehand, just maybe 1 or 2 reminders, particularly on the platform that you're going to use the most. So if it's going to be Facebook Live, maybe an hour in advance and then a half an hour in advance. So that gives people time to go and grab a coffee and come back and get ready at their desk or whatever.
Yeah, and if something else I think that's interesting when we talk about before your live video is if you have a video and you want to make sure that a lot of people are going to join, because of whatever the reason is, but you feel like this is one of the most important ones, you can always boost some of it. So if you promote your live video a week in advance or a couple of days before, and you put a bit of money behind it, it doesn't have to be a lot, just to make sure that your followers are aware of it.
Yes.
Because we all know with the algorithms that it's very difficult to reach all the followers that you have.
Yeah, Facebook is obviously particularly targeted businesses that you don't reach the full volume of your followers unless you boost and spend a bit of money. So even for €5 or £5 sterling or £10 or €10, you can actually vastly increase the audience that's going to view your live events. Great tip.
And I think again it all comes down to testing.
Yeah.
Because it's so new, and we don't have all the answers yet. It's only here for a couple of months. So. Yeah.
I think it's. I love live. I think it's brilliant because it brings out your personality. It can go different ways. It's nearly like podcasts in a way. Yeah. You can set off with a specific tract in mind of where you think it might go, but then depending on the person's answer, it might go in a different direction. Obviously, if you're doing it solo, it's going to be different because you have a lot more control about what's going on. If you're doing it out in the street, you have a lot less control because people can come up or block you or get in your way or ask you not to shoot and stuff like that. So it's interesting. I think on the structure side of the video, I think it's important. What would your recommendations be? Prepare questions or just wing it? Have general kind of topic areas?
I think it really depends on what you want to get out of the video.
Yeah.
Because the way that we use it right now is to share some knowledge with people,
Yeah,
give our opinions, and we want to help businesses. Another way that you can approach it is to really interact with the people who watch your video.
Yes.
So ask them to ask you questions during the video.
Yeah.
So it really depends on what is it that you want to get out of your live video.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then if you want to have it very structured, yes,
Yeah.
you can have this whole agenda of what you want to go through.
Yeah.
And if you just want to surprise people and yourself.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Just do it on the fly, because, like you say, LinkedIn Facebook, for example, is constantly telling people you're live now and letting your connections know that you're live, which is really good. So, the questions thing from the public, people that are watching, or your followers that are watching, do you let them ask questions throughout the event, or do you structure it at the end? From a business perspective, my personal view is do the questions at the end, like a Q&A, like you would normally with a normal kind of presentation.
Yeah.
Is that too stifling or too kind of stiff and conservative?
I don't know. I've seen examples of, especially on Instagram, where people go live really only to do Q&As.
Yes,
So it's, and very often those are people with like a lot of followers.
Yeah, so there's no structure really. It's just question. That's the only structure.
They just go live for an hour and they just look at their phones and see what the questions are that come in, and they just answer straight away.
Yeah.
So that's like exactly the opposite of what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
But that is a way of doing live video.
Yeah,
it's maybe not the
great
best way for Facebook.
Yes.
But again, that comes down to what is the platform, what are people expecting.
Exactly. Yeah. And I suppose the nature of business that you're in as well.
Yeah.
Really makes a difference.
Yeah.
So post event, the promotion. So how would you promote the video after you've done the live video?
Yeah. Well,
to get more engagements, get more views.
I think you are the right person to answer that question, to be honest.
No, I'm asking you, Wendy.
No, I'm happy to share, what I think is right, but what I really liked about your approach is that you made a plan around it. So yes, you can download your video, especially when you do a Facebook Live video or a Periscope video. You can download it and then use it for YouTube. You can use it as a podcast. You can use it to cut it into smaller pieces and then share it across other channels. But what I like about what you've done is that you made a structure that you can use for every video.
Yeah.
And that makes it easier, because I know we're all very busy. And you do this live video and then you click on finish and it's done.
Yeah.
And then there's an extra job to do to actually repurpose the content.
Yeah. I on your point there, I wrote very quickly 5 kind of steps, and within that I just have to polish it up now as well, and then I'll share on my platforms at I am Dave Murphy. But basically it's download the video, repackage it, put it onto YouTube, extract the audio, put it onto SoundCloud, then you can get the transcript and write a blog, or you can just fit it like SEO and Moz do on Whiteboard Friday. They do a great feature. So they have Randall Fisk and he has the video. It's transcribed with an introductory paragraph, and then there's blog posts written about it. So you can cut it up in many different ways. But I have a 5-step of what to do with my video once it's done, and very kind of simple, step by step with screen grabs and stuff like that. So I'll share that after this. And I think that is a way to go. But I think you can also post event on the native platform. So for example, without any kind of repackaging or any kind of stuff done on Facebook, for example, once the video is over, you can post the video that it's been live. So boosting that would obviously expand the audience again. So I think that's another way of kind of getting the most out of the repackaging and the post promotion without actually doing any repackaging at all before you even get into the YouTube, SoundCloud, transcribed audios, which YouTube does a terrible job mostly because my Dublin accent, I'm sure it's not great for your Dutch accent as well. It throws up some very strange words. So do check, if you are repackaging through YouTube and you're transcribing, do check the words that they come up with, because it can be completely way off the mark. But I do definitely recommend to use the likes of SoundCloud, where you have non-captive audio version where somebody can sit at their desk and do their day-to-day job, answer their emails or whatever they're doing, and listen to the audio of this live video, for example, that's on the different channels that we're using today. I think it's a really good way to go, and then make the most of it, talk about what happened, how you prepared. So we have a blog post essentially written for us here now today. Make sure your connections are good, make sure if the guest doesn't turn up, what do you do in those situations. So
yeah, and what I like about it as well is you can do it all on your phone.
That is the really key point. It's the barrier to entry to do live video is so cheap.
Yeah, but also when your live video is finished, what we just talked about, share it on YouTube, share it on. You just do it all with your phone. You don't have to be technical or anything. We can all do it. It's so easy to use, and
I think that's the real benefit of, I suppose, the modern world the mobile world that we live in, but also the fact that like all of these great platforms, Periscope, Instagram Live, and Facebook Live, are all on your phone. You know, and then you can turn these, like we say, into podcasts. You can turn them very quickly into blog posts as well, and you can do it all on your phone and make that actionable. I think is really important within the kind of the day or two that you've done the live video. Even if you can schedule time, maybe an hour or 2 hours post-production work after the event, if that's possible. If it's not possible, do it within a day or two and get it out to those platforms. And then, like you do on your schedule for Hootsuite, when you're scheduling your tweets, put that out once a day or once every 2 days that you've done the live video over the following 2 weeks or so, just to get that extra bit of engagement and traction.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's not something you can only share it once. As you said, you can share it more often to make sure that you reach everybody who's following you.
And just because people might have a massive audience first time around, or you might have massive engagement over the week or two following the event, just keep pushing it, that you don't have to reinvent the wheel each time, or do a new version of the same live video. You can do iterations of the live video. So what worked or what questions might have come out of this, I know I have one or two for another live video from this straight away, is what kind of propels you to do another one. And based on the questions obviously that come in through live video as well, will obviously help. So so we don't seem to have any questions just now at the moment. Have you any other thoughts, Wendy, before we pass on and wrap up?
No, I think just try and do it. I mean, it sounds more scary than it is. It's actually quite safe to do, because you don't feel like people are watching you. Of course, people are watching you, but it's only your mobile phone in front of you, so it's not. I mean, some people get a bit nervous when they stand in front of a camera.
Or in a presentation when there's a room full of people, or even their colleagues. Sometimes people get kind of.
And don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's live. It's completely fine if you run out of words or you make a mistake or something goes wrong. Just do it. Just give it a try and see what the impact is. Because as I said, the platforms love it, so they will prioritize your live video content above
video
other
is
content.
the content to be on. So get on the live. If you have any questions, hit us up at
my full name, Wendy van Gilst, on Twitter, my blog post, LinkedIn, all of the channels.
And you can contact me at I am Dave Murphy across all of the channels as well. So thanks very much for your time, guys, and we hope to see you again soon. Take care.